Hey food friends, welcome back to my channel. The season has changed and it's feeling real autumn-like out there. The nights are cooler and I want to make a beautiful, comforting red lentil soup. This is a Lebanese version called Shorbat Adas, made with warm spices and lemon. Everything I'll be using for this soup is from my pantry. Our seasonings will be 1 teaspoon dried onion flakes, 1 teaspoon chopped garlic, 1 teaspoon turmeric, half a teaspoon dried parsley, 1 tablespoon dried cumin, 1 tablespoon salt-free chicken bouillon powder. You can skip the bouillon to keep this vegan. I'm using 2 cups of red lentils and this is about 1 pound. And do be sure to pick through for any discolored lentils or ones that just don't look right. I buy these in an 8-pound bag for just under $10. They're low fat, low calories, full of fiber, and a great source of protein. Because these are split red lentils, they cook very fast and are easier to digest than most legumes. Let's get this started. In a hot skillet on medium heat, add about 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and once it's warm, add your cumin. And this is ground cumin, but it was whole cumin that I grounded myself with a mortar and pestle. Once it starts to get little bubbles, just releases the flavor and enhances the flavor of the cumin. Add your dried garlic and saute that a little bit, but not for too long. We don't want anything to burn. Add washed lentils. Once you mix everything together, add the rest of your seasonings. Add a generous amount of cracked black pepper. This is a 4-liter deep skillet. I'm going to add about 1.5 liters of water, as I'm aiming for 2 full liters of this delicious lentil soup. Let this come to a boil on medium-high heat, and once it gets to a gentle boil, you can turn the heat down to just medium and then cover this and cook it for 10 minutes. You can stir occasionally to make sure nothing sticks to the bottom of the pot. All of these lentils are pretty much cooked after 10 minutes. Give it a little taste, and now you can add as much salt as you like. I'm just doing 2 tablespoons of sea salt. I will add some more water to get it back to the 2-liter line. The flavor profile of this soup is very similar to what you would get in a shawarma place. If you ordered their lentil soup, it would taste very much like this. And that is how I fell in love with this soup. I like to whisk it all together to break it down because I want this soup to not be grainy, but extremely smooth and somewhat creamy. Our soup is cooking on medium heat at a gentle boil, and I've decided to add just a sprinkle of turmeric to really brighten this color. I wanted a nice golden color. If you don't have a lot of turmeric on hand, you can skip this option, but you'll see how beautiful this makes it look at the end. Whisk everything together and turn your heat off, and then just cover this and let it sit for about 5 minutes, and the heat will continue cooking it. After 5 minutes, whisk it again and make sure everything is nice and amalgamated together. And this is the perfect texture right here. Look how heavenly that looks. In Middle Eastern culture, lemons are used to just brighten up the flavor of the lentil soup. But since it's pantry friendly, I'm going to use some concentrated lemon juice, which most of you might have in your pantry or in your fridge. Add a generous amount, about 2 tablespoons. This won't make your soup taste like lemons, but rather just brighten all the flavors. Our soup is done and it'll thicken as it cools. Lentil soup is so common all throughout the world, and in many cultures it's like dal but thinner, and the spices are similar, cumin and turmeric, but this soup isn't spicy at all. It's just got warm, mild spices. Traditionally, shorbat adas would be served with pita bread, and if this was a West Indian dal, it would be served with some roti, or if this was a East Indian dal, it would be served with some naan or chapati or rice. Look at that golden color from the turmeric. It is so necessary, and this smells amazing. I do have fresh lemon, so I'm going to add a few slices. If you don't worry about it. The soup is great on its own. And now let's just take a look at the texture. As it cools down, it is thickened up a bit. This is the perfect texture, and it's so smooth, and it's just so delicious. And to make it even better, I'm going to squish down the lemons to release the juice, and that's just going to add an extra brightness to the soup that I love so much, and it reminds me of dal, which I love so much. So delicious. Many people pay like $10 for a jar of this in the supermarket. This recipe only costs around $2 of ingredients to make, maybe not even that much. I like to store my soups in jars, and then I let them cool and put some lids on them, and I keep them in my fridge, or I take them to work and I eat them for my lunch. The next day, I serve some of this up with some rice, and it is said that lentils and rice make a complete protein. Give this recipe a try and go feed yourself. Thanks for watching.